fee. Loyal Family Renovations, Tsunami Express Car Wash, Steamfitters Local 601, Big Fish Contracting, SVA, a professional services company, WeatherTight, Window Nation, and Network Health on the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
4.
You've got to work on that swing, Jack.
Well, I get time now that the business is running efficiently.
Oh, yeah? How'd you make that happen?
SVA. They showed me how to analyze my financial statements to increase revenue and profit margins and control expenses. The value of the business has never been higher. And now I've got more time to work on my golf game.
Nice. Maybe make time for lessons, too.
At SVA Certified Public Accountants, we pride ourselves in providing business owners with measurable results. Visit sva.com/golf to learn more.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Every family adventure begins with a vehicle you can trust. At Boucher Automotive Group, we're more than just a dealership, we're part of your journey.
For over 40 years, Boucher has helped Wisconsin families find the right vehicle with service you can count on.
Community is what fuels us too. That's why you'll see us supporting local schools, Little League teams, golf outings, and other causes throughout the year.
From the first time you get behind the wheel to every service visit after, Boucher is there for all the miles and the memories that matter.
The Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
Make the best seat in the house yours. Carbless delivers the handcrafted cocktail experience right to your living room. Bold flavor, no carbs, no sugar, just 100 calories, and all the taste with none of the extra baggage. From kickoff to the final play, Carbless is your game day go-to. Hosting friends, watching with family, or celebrating every big drive, Carbless keeps the good times pouring. So when the game's on the line, make the winning call. Skip the mixing, grab the bliss, and make every seat the best seat in the house. Find Carbless near you at drinkcarbless.com.
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ. It's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from American Family Field, here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
All right, well, that was a pretty sleepy return here to the ballpark. Brewers only score one run. They fall 3-1 to the Cincinnati Reds, who, man, what a story it has become. They are currently in a playoff position with a victory today and the Mets losing, so there's a chance the Reds are popping bottles tomorrow here at the ballpark if they win again and the Mets lose again. We'll get to all that a little bit later on in the program. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Craig Kishon will be with us as well. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. We're going to 11 tonight as the Brewers fall in this one 3-1. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They have not played their best baseball, even going back to the road trip, going just 2-4 on that trip, and now they lose the first of the final 3 games of the regular season, only mustering up 3 hits in tonight's contest. All that being said, is the Brewers know they're in October. They know they have a bye. They would like to know that they're the 1 seed. Just takes 1 more win to do that, and they got 2 more chances to do it. Does not matter what Philly does. Now, if the Phillies lose, cool, that's a good way to back into it. But all that matters is the Brewers get 1 more win before season's end. We'll break down Christian Yelich at the leadoff spot, what tomorrow is to be expected with Robert Gasser and Jacob Mizorowski, with Craig Kishon joining us in a moment. But first, catch you up to speed with the highlight recap.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Run it back! Ho, ho, ho!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Quinn Priester trying to make it 20 consecutive outings with a victory that he pitches in. It would match Roger Clemens for the all-time MLB record, going up against trade acquisition Zach Littell for the Cincinnati Reds. Both teams had a base runner in the first but couldn't do anything with it. But most notably, in the bottom of the first inning, Jack was on the run.
The 2-1 runner takes off. It's a strike, throw down to second base. It is not in time. It's a steal for Churiel, and he's 20-20 for the second straight year. First player to ever be 20-20 in back-to-back seasons before the age of 22. Unreal.
Pretty impressive stuff from Chourio, but he will be left stranded at second base. The Brewers got another opportunity in the third with one out, a double down the right field line by Yelich. Chourio would strike out, but Turang would come through.
2-1 is a liner back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Yelich around third, he will score, and the Brewers on the board first. 1-0 Crew as Turang found the golden snitch.
It was Harry Potter theme night, hence the call from Lane Grindle. But in the fourth, they would avoid the shutdown inning with the Reds. A leadoff double off the wall by Gavin Lux. Then a single through the right side by Miguel Andujar. Men on the corners and nobody out. Priester got Ellie to pop out, so you're thinking, all right, ground ball double play, this inning could be over. But back-to-back seeing-eye singles from Steer and Stevenson scored a run and kept the threat going. All tied at 1, but the ground ball finally helped out Priester.
Priester kicks in, delivers the 2-2. It's a ground ball to short. Fielded by Ortiz. Flips to second field. On to first, low, but dug out by Vaughn. A 6-4-3 double play. No further damage.
That was big at the moment. Then in the bottom of the fourth, leadoff man Sal Frelick of that inning would lead off with a single, but he would hold anchor. Vaughn and Bowers and Monasterio would all pop out and end the frame. And for the Brewers, that would be their last hit of the evening. Meanwhile, the Reds, they would get back on the board in the sixth inning with some buzzards luck. A leadoff double by Gavin Lux to left was then misplayed by Jake Bowers. It got through his legs, allowed Lux to get to third. Then Miguel Andujar lined a clean single up the middle to give the Reds the lead. Man on first, nobody out, not the end of the world, right? De La Cruz did a little chopper over the mound, headed straight to the bag at second. Ortiz is standing on the bag, ready to turn two, but instead it clips the corner of the base, ricochets away, which should have been a double play. Instead, turns into an infield hit, and then another run would later come around to score on a sacrifice fly. 3-1, and well, that was really it for the offense for both of these teams. The defense would take over from there, trying to keep the Brewers in it. In the seventh, Joey Ortiz
pitches a ground ball off the bat of Noelvi Marte deep in the hole, backhanded by Ortiz, slings it over to first in time. What a play by Joey, and a good stretch on the back end by Vaughn.
He would make another brilliant play in the ninth inning, but the Brewers could not muster anything on offense. We mentioned that Sal Frelick, the last hit of the game. They'll only have two other base runners the whole contest, an E6 by Ellie and a walk by Chourio. Was not a good night for the offense. Just 3 hits for the Crew. They fall 3-1. We'll break it down with Craig Kashan coming up next on 620 WTMJ.
Hey Milwaukee, now is the best time of year to replace your old drafty, cheap, or builder-grade windows. And Window Nation can get the job done in 1 day or less. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 for free. Plus, you won't make any payments for 2 years. That's right, no interest, no monthly payments, and no down payment. Plus, for a limited time, you can score free Brewers tickets when you replace all the windows in your home. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now.
You'll get a new heat pump system, a new furnace, and a full home duct cleaning all together as a package at about half price. Half price! That's how it all shakes out. Not a gimmick. And both the furnace and the heat pump system are high-quality units. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump system from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace and a free duct cleaning. All totaled, the cost would be about $20,000. When you add in the new tax incentives that you'll get back at the end of the year, you're going to end up paying about half. That's about $10K for a high-quality furnace, heat pump system, and a full home duct cleaning. It's limited time, and last time we did this, the units went pretty fast. So if your home needs a new furnace upgrade and a heat pump system that can act as a brand new AC system as well as a furnace backup, take advantage while you can and cut your energy bills substantially. Call Quality and get them while they're hot.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, one of the top-ranked real estate teams in Wisconsin, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers Brewers Extra Innings all season long is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. If you're looking for Milwaukee, if you're looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs here in Milwaukee, look no further than Fifth Third Bank. With a local team here in Milwaukee, they know how to hit it out of the park every time. And for 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that helps your business thrive. Experience a unique commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. With Craig Kishon, I'm Dom Cotroneo. Brewers fall today by a 3-1 score. Craig, I mean, flat is the word I just keep coming back to, and they haven't played great the last week and a half, and the glass half full take is, well, none of this really matters aside from getting the 1 seed, of course. The Brewers just need to win one more game to get the 1 seed. And then the glass half empty take is that, oh my gosh, they're playing poorly heading into the postseason. What are we going to do? The sky is falling. So which glass are you drinking out of right now, Craig Kishon?
Well, I'm always have that glass half full, my friend, and I will say this. In all honesty, in a stretch of games that really doesn't matter, I'm not happy that Quinn Priester lost this one, but I am happy that the winning streak is not going to come to an end in a playoff game, which has a lot more meaning than tonight's. That's for sure. And I didn't think Quinn Priester pitched badly at all here in this one, like you just mentioned on the highlights. You know, he got a bad break or two here and there, but you know, this offense has been very quiet, and I think they're also trying to, you know, work some things out with this offense right now too. You know, Yelich being the top of the order is really very new for this team, and that's been very recently. And so they're trying to give some guys, you know, a break. They're trying to give, you know, some other guys a longer look, and I think it's just kind of a test drive, a little bit of what they could possibly do and try to work around come playoff time, because come playoff time, you know, the regular season stuff isn't always the same, and I think, you know, they're quietly trying to prepare for all that right now. I mean, you can do that when you have the luxury of a big lead and you've accomplished all the things that they have so far.
Yeah, on that point, I know I've said this before on the program, too. There's no rule that says the lineup that you do in September has to be used in October. I mean, this is when you want to try stuff out. You want to throw stuff on the artboard and see what sticks. And maybe they're finding out Yelich in a leadoff spot isn't going to stick like they think it's going to. The reasoning for Yelich hitting leadoff right now, Craig, is that, in the words of Pat Murphy, is, you know, they know he can do it, first and foremost. And second of all, it can help out the bottom of the order. And they may sound a little bit silly, but here's the explanation. The 8-hitter in the month of September right now for the Brewers has an on-base percentage of 404. I mean, that's really good for an 8-hitter. That's better than 30 points, better than the team in second place in September, right? But Joey Ortiz, his on-base in September is just 227. And he's hitting ninth. Whether it's Sal or Bryce behind him or now Yelly in these last 4 games, you got to wonder, is there a way that you can create a little bit of gravity in the lineup behind him? That's what the Brewers are trying to see if it can work in the favor. Now, granted, Joey Ortiz ended up leading off an inning twice and only did not come up once with a runner in scoring position or even a runner on base, so that's not totally on him. They didn't get the data that they wanted from today. But again, it's an experiment. No one says this is locked and loaded, has to be done next Saturday.
No, and, you know, just talking about Christian Yelich, too, being at the top of the lineup, I mean, the guy did get a double and scored the game's only run, too. So it almost doesn't matter where Christian Yelich is, but it does matter, I think, when you're trying to come up with a winning formula top to bottom, and that's, you know, you're right. That's what they're test driving right now, if you will. And they're taking a look at it. You know, maybe something changes in the next 2 days, too, on that. Who knows? But I do know one thing. This wouldn't have been a 3-1 game without Joey Ortiz's defense, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The guy has just made some tremendous plays tonight. So, you know, whatever's not working, you know, at the plate for him, he has excelled to another degree over at shortstop. I mean, it is unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, he certainly made a couple of dazzling plays, and then the one that he really wanted to make hit the bag at second base because that really totally changed that sixth inning.
Yeah.
I mean, you could sit here and say, "Oh my gosh, you should have charged it. Why'd you not read that?" But then if you charge it, you've got Ellie running, and you eliminate the chance that maybe at a double play. It's just a lot of things that need to be computed in a short amount of time. That's how the game works, obviously. 1 in a million, I'm not mad at him for that, but then you look at it, we'll talk about Quinn Priester's day in a moment. You look at it for Quinn, he got into the sixth inning. He allowed technically 3 runs. One of them scored after he had exited the game because of that bad luck bounce. At the end of the day, the Brewers, if you keep a maybe playoff caliber team to only 3 runs, you got to help out your pitching staff, man. You got to score some runs, and the Brewers just didn't do that today.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet, that's for sure. And I don't want to say they've lost their urgency, but it's been redirected here a little bit, and they're going to have to, we've talked about this too, during the last shows that I was on with you, Dom, just trying to find that sense of urgency because they haven't necessarily needed one this year. I think their winning ways just came and developed within, their chemistry and their hunger and stuff. So now they need that sense of urgency here. I think it would be really important over the next 2 days to kind of reestablish, that grinding out offense that no matter what it takes, put a ball in play and make him get you out type thing that we're used to, and then leaning into one and driving a ball. So there's a lot to be had yet offensively for a team that's been very, very quiet here over the almost nearly 2 weeks, it seems.
Yep, and the Brewers are going to use these last 2 games to make sure they keep guys fresh. We saw Caleb Durbin get a day off today. I wonder if we see Chourio get a day off tomorrow. All these things to be decided for the Crew. Talk about Quinn Priester's day coming up next as the Brewers fall 3-1 here on 620.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousin Subs. Enjoy them with your favorite dipping sauce, or try them in one of our 2 new subs, Classic Crispy Chicken or Bold Buffalo Ranch Crispy Chicken. Both served on our fresh baked bread, made with quality you can taste. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers fall today. There's another one tomorrow. Game 161 coming up tomorrow. Brewers just 1 win away from clinching the 1 seed and clinching a franchise record for wins. Brewers Extra Innings brought to you by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. As temperatures drop, don't risk a cold shower. Now through October 31st, Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical is offering $200 off a new water heater plus a free 5-year extended labor warranty. Stay cozy with Cider.com, SEIDER.com. With Craig Kashan, I'm Dom Cotroneo. The final line for Quinn Priester doesn't tell the whole story. 5 innings plus 3 batters in the 6th. 9 hits, 3 runs, they were all earned, only 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He threw 87 pitches. 51 of them were strikes today for Quinn. He got a ton of ground balls. In fact, of the outs he recorded today, he still only had 3 ground ball outs officially. Granted, 2 of those were double plays, so technically make it 5 ground ball outs with 3 fly ball outs. Then 3 doubles, I should say, from Friedel and 2 from Lux. Overall, when you see Priester's line, you see a lot of contact. We've come to get used to that. But what it felt like is that second time through the order, Craig, that all of a sudden you got the hit from Friedel and the Reds made their adjustment to Quinn saying, hey, he doesn't have his sinker today. Let's just look for stuff away. Look for cutters, look for sliders. And they made the adjustment in time.
Yep, they did, and they were banging out hits, in that 4th and 5th and 6th innings for sure against him. And that 4th inning when he gave up just the 1 run when he had 4 hits, I mean that's not going to happen too often. If you give up 4 hits, you're going to usually give up more than 1 run there. But he got that double play to end it, and then he was fortunate again in the 5th inning to make it quicker too after that single. So got another double play, but again, he's kind of going to how we're used to it, not the big strikeouts for sure in this game. But I just think the hits and the base runners by that 6th inning clearly got to him a little bit here in this one. So hard to say. I mean, he has been so good for so long. It's just really hard when you have to look back and say, when's the last time this guy lost? On May 13th? You got to be kidding me. And it's, September 26th. I mean, he's been phenomenal. And the team has been there until tonight, really, if you think about it, winning 19 straight games. They have provided runs for him. They have bailed him out a little bit on the few times that he needed it. And it was a great run. But again, that's all done now with tonight. Now it's time to move on to the playoffs and see if Priester's a playoff-type pitcher.
Yeah, and he's more than likely getting game 2 of a playoff scenario. Matchup dependent, of course, as well. But one thing about the sinker for him, we know he's a ground ball guy. We know it's such an important pitch for him. He just didn't have command of it early. In fact, his first 10 sinkers, he only threw 1 of them for a strike. And then deeper into the contest, he threw 27 total sinkers, only 14 for strikes, and that's 52%. But it gets worse yet from there because there were even 9 swings on that pitch, meaning balls put in play. So 9 of the 14 strikes were swings, as in ball in play type swings. So he wasn't getting called strikes. He wasn't getting ahead. He threw a ton of pitches missing to the arm side. And what happens when you give a big league hitter, hey, eliminate this pitch, just totally eliminate it, or if you see it, it's going to be fat and right down the middle. That's what I think we saw today from Quinn Priester. The slider was still really good. The cutter wasn't terrible. It's just that they eliminated the sinker. And you saw what happens in the big league level. If you're pitching without something and you can't get them off the scent of your pitches that move in a certain direction, you're going to give up a lot of contact. Now, granted, he had some bad luck there in the 4th and 5th innings, or rather 4th and 6th innings. And then Bauers making the big misplay in left field certainly didn't help him either. But at the same time, hey, man, you're a contact pitcher, and without the sinker, the quality of contact goes up for the opponent.
Yeah, and it's one of the rare times that we've seen that as well. But the other thing that we've seen, from Priester Dom this year is he makes adjustments from one start to the next pretty well. And so to not have that sinker tonight, obviously what is going to be first and foremost between him and the pitching department, the lab or whatnot, and that's to figure out a way to get it back. And if it doesn't, he went through tonight and he didn't have it. If he doesn't have it in a playoff game per se, then he's got to figure out a way to still get outs and not give up that contact either. So I think it is interesting because I really believe this is a guy that he not only just grinds things out, but he learns pretty quickly on things, and he's just a type of guy that can make adjustments from start to start, and hopefully we'll be able to see that.
So the Brewers will likely send Quinn Priester to a full week off. He'll start on the Monday, I would imagine, of the NLDS. If we're getting one silver lining out of this pitching staff today, it's Tobias Myers not allowing a hit over those final 3 innings, just 1 base runner against him. It's just a reminder, all these eyes on Chad Patrick, all these eyes on Jacob Mizorowski and Robert Gasser. Tobias Myers reminding everybody, hey, of all these young guys, I have the most playoff experience of all of them combined. I don't think we need to. I think we're kind of glossing over Tobias Myers being an X factor in October.
Well, that is very interesting because I even made the comment when he was in there tonight that he has done really an overall great job if you think about it, but he hasn't pitched in games for the most part when the team is up, but he's pitched in a lot of games, most of his games, when he needs to be in there to keep the team in the game. And you never know when that's going to happen in the playoffs either. Now, if the Brewers fall behind early in some of these games, they're not going to leave that starting pitcher in too much longer. They got to keep these games tight, especially first round with the series being shorter. So he is, in my opinion, definitely going to play a role one way or the other. And it's an interesting point you bring up. Who is going to be that Game 3 starter? I mean, they have choices here. Quintana looks like he made a big, strong move with his rehab, today in the bullpen and in his throwing. So they have choices, and they could piggyback with some of these guys as well. And Myers is definitely going to fit in the mix.
Yeah, he's going to be very important. So, Craig, as we send you out the door, make sure you unplug and replug the offense back in, as there's a couple guys that need to get going here in these final 2 games. But, man, I look at a few guys like Churio. Good for him to get to that 2020 mark. That's quite the accomplishment. He's still got 2 more games to get hot again, hopefully, for the Brewers. Contreras hasn't got a hit since he got hit on the ricochet, or on the follow-through, I should say, on Saturday night in St. Louis. That's something to monitor as well. But the Brewers, hey, man, they're a playoff team for a reason. No reason to freak out. Yes, the offense has been flat lately, but Craig's going to take care of it on his way out the door. Hopefully the reset gets it going, all right?
I'm going to take that app and delete it and then download it again and re-sign in, Dom. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, just, reinstall. Just make sure you got the latest update in there.
Exactly.
Clear out all the bugs. It won't load. It's frozen. You keep swiping up or whatever. It'll all be fine. Craig, you have the day off tomorrow, but we'll talk to you again Sunday. And hopefully we're talking about a record team with maybe 98 wins by Sunday. How about that?
Ooh, that'd be great, Dom. We'll talk to you then.
All right, Craig Kashan on 620 WTMJ. We'll do a little buy or sell. We'll get to some texts, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Amish Outdoor Furniture with poly and wood available. And that poly is the richest of outdoor furniture. It's just about indestructible and will virtually last forever. At Erickson's, we have poly furniture in abundance, so you're guaranteed to see a great selection. The beauty of it is you can put it outside all year round and not worry about it, because the color runs all the way through, so it doesn't fade, and minor nicks and scratches won't hurt the look. Erickson's Landscape Supply. For an abundant selection of poly and wood Amish outdoor furniture, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better selection of metal yard art than we have here at Erickson's. Anything from natural and painted metal signs to painted roosters from 1 to 6 feet tall. Natural steel flying ducks and cattails. Cute little frogs, geckos, pigs, flamingos, and goats. And palm trees. The list is endless. And that's why you come here. Erickson's Landscape Supply, right on Spring Street in Union Grove, where you'll find a fantastic array of artisanal metal yard art. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Or better yet, drive on over and take a gander at the goods.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Let's do some buy or sell now, shall we? I'm Dom Cotroneo. A couple of texts as well. Congrats on the stolen bases for Jackson Chourio. Fans want a few more wins, though, before a playoff start. Go Brewers, that one from the 815. Brewers are averaging 2 runs a game with Yelly at the leadoff. Go back to Sal. I don't disagree, but they're trying something out here. I think Sal in the leadoff spot is what they're ultimately going to decide. And Yelly, I just like Yelly in the 3 spot a little bit more. I think it really helps out Jackson. I think it really helps out William. So we'll see how that rolls. I still just can't get on board with Yelly at the leadoff spot. I don't understand messing with the flow of the lineup. It's gotten them this far with Yelly in the 3-hole. So 1-3 with this lineup so far. Yeah, I think we kind of broke it down there, but that seems to be a common refrain right now. Brian from Tosa, scoring only 13 runs the last 7 games, not going to get it done in the postseason. Obviously, we'll face better pitchers in the playoffs too, so need more than 3 hits. And also, the core group are very young, without much playoff experience, so the veterans need to lead the way. So this is going to be my topic of the buy or sell here. You know, looking back just at the last couple of playoff runs here for the Brewers, let's just start with last season. And, you know, this isn't meant to disparage or just kind of, you know, complain or anything like that. But when you look at some of those quote-unquote veterans for the Brewers in this postseason run last season, right, you know, Willie Adames, he went 2 for 11 last year in the postseason. Rhys Hoskins, he went 0 for 9 in the postseason. Gary had a good postseason. He went 2 for 7. Well, Jake Bauers came off the bench in Game 2. He comes through out of nowhere. Garrett Mitchell obviously came through in Game 2. And then furthermore, Blake Perkins, he went 3 for 6. William Contreras, he was dealing with the knee, but he only went 2 for 12. So the point being is that you look at the veterans, sometimes the scouting report is a little bit longer on those guys. So I'm kind of selling that point of you need to lean on your veterans. You need to lean on everybody. The kids last year didn't know any better. Sal Frelick, he got on base 4 times with 4 hits. Chourio, we all know the epic series that he had as well. Even Terang had a great series going 5 for 11 with 3 doubles last year against the Mets. So that's something to monitor because now those young guys, right, Frelick and Terang, they've played in 2 postseasons already. Chourio's played in a postseason now. Contreras has a World Series ring on his finger. He has experience even still as a young guy. Blake Perkins has played in 2 postseasons now too. So the point being is that the Brewers, I'm always in favor of experience and to think that, the veterans need to lead the way. Everybody needs to lead the way. I think the rookies have shown, and the young guys, I should say, not just the rookies, that it doesn't matter what your service time says in the postseason. Everybody starts at 0-0-0. That's why I'm excited about heading into the postseason. What I am buying, though, about this team and about the pitching staff, I mean, this is a great playoff caliber pitching staff. I mean, I know the Reds offensively have been a little bit challenged. I mean, you still held them to 3 runs when they were trying to score as many runs as possible right now. Furthermore, here in September, the Brewers pitching staff has been just fine. And I know they had the rough series in St. Louis. When you consider all this for the Brewers, especially most importantly, their bullpen, even without guys that are kind of under the radar that you don't have, like a DL Hall, Shelby Miller's innings would have been huge at this point for the Brewers in September. To not have him is a massive development for the crew. They still have a 3.20 ERA in September. That's in the top 10 in baseball for their bullpen. They are walking a few more guys than you would like. That's the thing that I'm kind of pointing to and saying, let's nip the walks ASAP, about 3 walks per 9, which isn't great. But then the other good news, the Brewers bullpen doesn't give up the long ball. They have the fewest home runs allowed per 9 in September from a bullpen perspective. That's obviously so important coming into the postseason. Better than Toronto, better than Cleveland, better than other playoff teams like San Diego, right? So these are things that we look at going into October, the 3 true outcomes. Buying or selling is brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, trust Tony Wendorf and Associates, one of the top real estate teams in Wisconsin and part of First River Real Estate Services. They bring faith, family, and a red carpet experience to every home deal. Let's step up to the plate together at wendorfteam.firstweber.com. We hear from Pat Murphy a little bit later on in the program. Some more texts as well. 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
You'll get a new heat pump system, a new furnace, and a full home duct cleaning all together as a package at about half price. Half price! That's how it all shakes out. Not a gimmick. And both the furnace and the heat pump system are high-quality units. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump system from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace and a free duct cleaning. All totaled, the cost would be about $20,000. When you add in the new tax incentives that you'll get back at the end of the year, you're going to end up paying about half. That's about $10K for a high-quality furnace, heat pump system, and a full home duct cleaning. It's limited time, and last time we did this, the units went pretty fast. So if your home needs a new furnace upgrade and a heat pump system that can act as a brand new AC system as well as a furnace backup, take advantage while you can and cut your energy bills substantially. Call Quality and get them while they're hot.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers fall today 3-1, but hey, they can win the series these next two games and play spoiler. You never know. The playoff picture is getting crazy right now in both leagues. Let's get a player of the game in here real quick before we forget. It's brought to you by International Autos Group. Just like the game's MVP, you can drive into the season in style and save up to $10,000 on in-stock BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benz, and more. No tariffs, just huge savings. Visit iamilwaukee.com. International Autos Group, where ordinary needs to be extraordinary. If we're picking a Brewer, it'd be easy to pick Tobias Myers. 3 innings to keep the bullpen fresh heading into the rest of the weekend. You can also point out on offense, Turang having the only RBI of the game. Yelich, the only run scored of the game, the only extra base hit of the game for the Brewers. But Churio drawing 2 walks. That's not insignificant. Pat Murphy touched on that a little bit later on in the post-game presser with the media in a little bit that you'll hear on WTMJ. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Tobias, but don't lose sight of Turang continuing to swing the bat. He hasn't hit a homer in a few days, but I think the Brewers are in experimental mode right now for their lineup. On that playoff front, though, right now, the Reds, are in control of their own fate now with the Mets losing earlier today. The other caveat of tomorrow is that the Phillies and the Marlins both play before the Brewers. Marlins will play at 3:10 as they host the Mets. So meaning if the Mets lose tomorrow and the Reds win, it's over. The Reds can't catch them. And with the Diamondbacks losing today, they're now losing big 6-2, a Fernando Tatis Jr. grand slam. So Diamondbacks are about to be eliminated from postseason contention as well, and then it will be 2, just the Reds and the Mets heading into tomorrow, which is certainly exciting. Over in the American League, keeping an eye on the Astros right now. They are only up by a run against the Angels. The reason why we're keeping an eye on them is because it's going to come down to the wire. They need a sweep. The Red Sox beat the Tigers to clinch a playoff berth. Red Sox are currently locked into the 2 spot in the wild card race. Detroit has if Detroit loses each of the next 2 games, Houston needs to win 1 more game to get themselves in, because Detroit has the tiebreaker on the Houston Astros. That is going to be something to watch for in these final 2 contests. And a reminder, it's locked in now. Cubs will be hosting the Padres in a best-of-3 at Wrigley, and that's the series that feeds into the Brewers if they're the 1 seed. If they're not the 1 seed, if they're the 2, they'll be awaiting the winner of the Dodgers and the last team in, the Dodgers and the Mets, or the Dodgers and the Reds. That's something to keep an eye on for this upcoming stretch. If I had to guess, though, for the Brewers, looking ahead at what their opponent could have and what they're looking out for, if they're facing the Padres team they just saw, lefty is going to be important. And a guy like Jose Quintana, who threw 45 pitches today in a live batting practice session, 3 ups for him, could be a factor in that. Also, all eyes on Trevor McGill right now. He threw a 19-pitch live batting practice session. The word of the day, as it's been all this time, has been decent. Touched 96, and you may be thinking, oh my gosh, that's not 100. Well, your adrenaline is never flowing like it is in a game when you're facing your teammates. So the fact that he's hitting 95, 96 consistently again, it's all about the recovery. If he's able to get back up to 98, 99 coming out of the bullpen and having the adrenaline, you can probably add another half mile an hour for a playoff adrenaline. That's something to monitor, but we'll see how Trevor responds tomorrow. And if he responds well, the Brewers expect to activate him on Sunday to try to get him into a game and try to get him that feeling of, all right, am I good enough to go? Can I send this heading into the postseason? And one quick note, if the Brewers do activate Trevor on Sunday, and let's say it's a no-go, oh man, I'm not feeling great, they don't have to put him on the injured list. You don't really need an injured list in October. They can just choose to not have him on the DS roster, and then can choose to activate him in the CS. So even if they, I should say activate, but just add him to the roster for the CS if they so wish. So that's all the things that go into that. We'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, coming up next. The Brewers fall today 3-1. We're going to the top of the hour on 620 WTMJ.
Elevate your escape at Audi North Shore and Audi Milwaukee, where you can save up to $30,000 on a new Audi or get low 0.99% financing for 72 months. At Audi North Shore in Brown Deer and Audi Milwaukee, members of the International Autos Group, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. On select in-stock new units. Savings include customer credit and dealer credit. Financing with approved credit. $1,431 per month for $1,000 financed. No down payment required.
You have never been to an all-inclusive resort? Well, neither have I. Hi, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, and this winter, we're going to rectify that. My wife, Kathy, and I have teamed up with Fox World Travel to check another travel wish item off our list, and you are invited to join us. We'll be flying nonstop from Milwaukee to sunny Cancun and staying at the ultra-chic luxury resort Secrets the Vine. This adults-only all-inclusive resort offers unlimited luxury where so much is included. Best-in-class service, gourmet a la carte restaurants, top-shelf drinks, 24-hour room and concierge service, endless day and nighttime activities, and more. Come with us, soak up the sun on the beach or one of 3 sparkling infinity pools, enjoy sommelier-led wine tasting, or explore the Cancun area. You know my trips sell out fast, so if you want more information about the February festivities, contact a travel advisor at Fox by calling 866-GO-FOX-GO or their fabulous website, foxworldtravel.com.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Here it is. And a ground ball left side. Backhanded by Ortiz. Throw across the diamond. Yes, in time. Joey Ortiz, have yourself a season at short. My, oh my, what a play. And McLean is no slouch running either.
Brilliant play from Joey. Handful that he made tonight. It's brought to you by Surfside, our play of the game. A proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka. Surfside lemonade and vodka. They're paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. Let's hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, after a 3-1 defeat here at the ballpark.
Priester's outing today. There was some bad luck involved.
How did you think he pitched?
I thought he did a fine job. Gave us 5+. A sinker, he didn't have control of his sinker early. He's had that long layoff. He's not used to that, so who knows how that affected him. But, he didn't have great control of that, still pitched well enough to win. That's some tough luck with a ground double play ball turns into a first and third instead of 2 outs. It turns into a first and third. They may not score that other run, so yeah, would have changed the game maybe, but that's part of baseball. You can't rely on luck to win or lose. So credit to the Reds, they're playing great. They haven't won too many games here in the last number of years, and they've done a good job of getting their team prepared, and hopefully they're hoping they get in the postseason. So.
What have you thought about the offense this past, I think, 8 games going back to the start of that Cardinal series?
Yeah, it certainly hasn't been a juggernaut, that's for sure. We've tried some different things. We've moved some things around, and we've given some other guys opportunities to play more, given some guys some rest here and there. But we haven't played our normal, typical ball strike, grind it out game.
Is it kind of difficult at this time of year to figure out how much of that is something to pay attention to and how much of it is maybe the foot's off the gas a little bit?
Yeah, it's hard to stay hungry. Hard to stay hungry. Do you remember last year at this time we were 10 games up, and it's hard to stay hungry. When you have a whole bunch of cookies and then you have a whole bunch of food, and then someone says, "Hey, do you want a little more, Jackson?" What do you say?
No.
You say no because you're not hungry, right? It's hard to stay hungry if you're full, and it's that mental challenge that they got to decide that this is important to play right. We understand the ramifications of the games are not the same, but it's important to play right and grind out ABs and get to first and get your mind on that. And it's hard to schedule the way it is, and you could say we played too good too early, and now we're faced with this again. But we had no problem playing well in the postseason last year. We played well, and people will remember that we lost to the Mets. They're the hottest team in baseball, and we lost in a dramatic fashion. But we played well enough to win. So I think we'll recapture that at some point. Hopefully tomorrow. I'd like to see it tomorrow.
Murph, what do you think of Tobias and just what he's done out of the bullpen?
It's been great out of the pen. And not young players when only their second year in the league. It's hard for them to make those adjustments, but it's pretty cool what we're watching them do.
Murph Chourio got 2020, which in the grand scheme of what you're trying to do is...
No, I mean, it's quite an accomplishment for anyone. It's just like Yelly getting 100 RBIs, whatever. It's not... Yelly's old enough and has done enough in the game that you're not going to... he's not going to let that get in the way. Jack's still a young player, and to be the youngest player ever to go back-to-back 2020 is quite a feat. He's got a lot of learning to do, but he's been terrific. Really happy for him.
He had that setback where he was down with the hamstring and getting his legs back under him. I mean, is he kind of a priority guy in terms of getting the confidence, getting the something going into October?
Yeah, no, I mean, all the guys that are going to play every day, they got to get that confidence going.
Last year, Jackson was so hot heading into the postseason. Just one of the best hitters in baseball, and it's been a different story this month. What have you seen from him? Do you think it's anything related to that injury or something else?
I think the injury set him back physically, and when you're trying to rehab a hamstring, you're not exactly going to stay in shape. You know what I mean? It's hard to. So I think some of it was that he battled back and he wasn't in his best shape, and I think now that's behind him. So I think you're going to see a real good version of him.
Where do you feel like he's at with the plate discipline and just seeing the ball right now? Because he did draw 2 walks tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it ebbs and flows. You know, he gets in his mind, he wants to attack, and gets himself out a lot. But, you know, I've seen some signs in San Diego and here. I've seen some signs.
For Jackson Chourio, maybe a couple of walks. Best way to break a slump is just get aboard and get on first by just not swinging the bat. A couple of guys that they could use to break a slump. We'll use that time to use our window ahead as we say goodnight after this on 620 WTMJ.
Wholesale mulch? No problem. We deliver to residential or wholesale accounts, and we can supply you with whatever volume of the highest quality mulch you need. Nobody around here has more mulch than Erickson's. We'll deliver you a 1-yard pickup truck load all the way up to 100 yards in a walking floor trailer. And if you just need a little bit, swing by and we'll fill up a 5-gallon bucket or two. It's the best mulch you'll find. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our decorative stone is available by the handful for pickup, all the way up to 24-ton load deliveries. And our stone is superlative. We scour the countryside, countrywide, from Arizona to the Carolinas. We search pretty much the whole U.S. of A. to find you easily the best stone selection in southeastern Wisconsin. See a rainbow of decorative stone colors to match any exterior decor. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Are you looking for ways to give back to your local community? Use volunteerwisconsin.org to find opportunities to volunteer your time with organizations making a difference near you. As we celebrate United Ways Month, we're also celebrating you. Visit volunteerwisconsin.org or get in touch with your local United Way or Volunteer Center to find out more about local opportunities to get involved. VolunteerWisconsin.org is hosted by United Way of Wisconsin and Serve Wisconsin. Paid for by United Way of Wisconsin.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ. What's coming up for the crew? This is your window to what's ahead. Brought to you by Window Nation.
Hey Milwaukee, Dom Cotroneo here for Window Nation. Right now you can buy 2 windows and get 2 free, plus no payments for 2 years. And you can even get free tickets to a Brewers game when you replace all the windows in your home. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now. Magic number is 1, the super magic number, if you will, for home field advantage. So it's the perfect time to take advantage yourself of the Window Nation playoff special. Tomorrow, it is a 6:15 first pitch, and if you're somebody who likes to sync up your television, it is not on FanDuel, but rather it's on Fox. National broadcast tomorrow. Andrew Abbott, Robert Gasser, a pair of lefties going at it. Big day for the Brewers to try to see how they're doing against Southpaws this year. They still come into tomorrow's contest with the second best record, I believe, now against left-handed pitching, pulling that up as we speak, double-checking. Nope, it's still the best at 29-17. So they will see Abbott tomorrow, and then on Sunday, the Brewers will send Freddie Peralta for a shortened start for the crew against Brady Singer. So the Reds, you know, they've played this gambit well. Maybe it's kind of fallen into their lap where they had Hunter Green go on Wednesday against Paul Skeens as opposed to using him on Tuesday, not against Skeens. It would have been on a 4-day cycle for him. And then what using Green on Tuesday meant that they could use him for game 162 if need be. Now, he could maybe throw an inning if they need it on Sunday, if it comes down to it. But now it's worked out that if the Mets lose again tomorrow and the Reds win, they get to save Hunter Green for game 1 of the National League Wildcard Series in Los Angeles, which would likely be Shohei versus Hunter Green. Sign me up for that. But we'll monitor that when the time comes. Maybe they're not even in the postseason if the Brewers can get things together and win yet another series against the Redlegs. So tomorrow we're at 6:15. Some special programming to come tomorrow for you as well. We will be live here from the ballpark in the ESPN Milwaukee trailer as myself and Tony Connerhead, you've heard him over on Thanalysis with our friends at ESPN Milwaukee, that we're going to do some big league prep here for, playoffs and what's expected. A little Brewers playoff special with the playoff fever here with the Pocket Pancakes earlier today with 10,000 people were here at the ballpark. How exciting is that to see that many people come here and enjoy their day? So, again, we'll be on specialty 3 to 5, I should say. And then we've got Brewers warm-up starting at 5 o'clock here on the WTMJ side. So we got a lot of content coming at you tomorrow from a Brewers perspective. Going through it all over with our friends on ESPN Milwaukee. Now, while we're at it here, let's go ahead and give you the scenarios and what to look out for right now in the games that are remaining. Now, the Dodgers, they're locked into that wild card round. They are going to be hosting no matter what. So they will be hosting either the Mets or the Reds. And again, tomorrow, the Mets will play before the Brewers. There's a chance we know the final already before the teams even take the field. So let's say the Mets win tomorrow. All right. Then that means the Reds need to match it to win and move on. Meaning the Reds holding the tiebreaker, they can control their own fate. They don't need to rely on another loss from the Mets. But that being said, every time the Mets win, the Reds are going to have to match it with these final 2 games remaining. And tomorrow, New York is scheduled to throw Clay Holmes against Yuri Perez. And then on Sunday, it'll be a day game. Everybody plays at the same time on Sunday. Everybody plays at 2 o'clock Central Time. If it does come down to Sunday for these 2 clubs, Miami is going to be sending Edward Cabrera to the mound in that one. TBD for New York. It obviously all depends on what they're going to need down the stretch and who they want to throw in that finale. Do you throw Nolan McLean on short rest? Do you just have it be a bullpen day and figure it all out? So that's the big thing that Cincinnati will be watching for right now. And over in the American League, like we said, Detroit is on thin ice, but they need to make sure that they avoid a sweep, and they're probably into the playoffs because they hold that tiebreaker. Oh, by the way, the Angels have come back to tie that game against the Astros right now in the top of the 8th inning. So Houston, if Houston doesn't win against the Angels, they're done for. Without Jordan, without Jeremy Pena, you can kind of see this coming. Without Josh Hader, now Luis Garcia's out for the year again, too. Another Tommy John for him. So all this is to say the rain might finally be coming to an end for the Houston Astros. And what a rain it was. Yes, you can make jokes about trash cans in that meantime as well, but this long-term vision for the Houston Astros, they made the playoffs for the first time in 2015 in 10 years since they had lost the World Series. They didn't make the playoffs in 16, but they still were above 500. Then they win the World Series in 17. Bang, bang, we know. Then make the playoffs every year since winning the World Series, including winning another one in 2022. And I think a lot of people are validated by that second win about how good the Astros were. But that win, that era might be coming to an end in the West since the Mariners have won the West. Maybe we'll have a big spirited debate tomorrow with Tony about who should win the American League MVP, given that seems to be the easy content right now across baseball. Cal Raleigh versus Aaron Judge. So join us over on ESPN Milwaukee tomorrow. We'll be at the trailer as well. If you're tailgating, we'll be right here behind home plate at the ballpark to enjoy all of it. So that is going to do it for our program here on Brewers Extra Innings. We'll be back again tomorrow night. A lot of talking for yours truly tomorrow as we're getting ready for the Brewers playoffs. Our producer has been Matt Yezel. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Keep on swinging.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American